Hi, it's Jenny.
And Daniel.
And Talia.
And today we are at the Monterey Bay Aquarium in Monterey, California.
We've actually never been here before, so we're really excited to see what exhibits they have. What are you excited to see?
I'm excited to see the penguins.
They're also supposed to have a beautiful collection of different types of jellyfish.
We're staying nearby in Monterey, but we did have to drive here, so we parked in the large public parking lot, which costs $20 per car, and there are not in and out privileges. So once you're in, it's that $20. Once you leave, you'd have to pay again to repark.
This aquarium is the inspiration for the aquarium shown in the movie Finding Dory. So we're going to see if there's any similarities or anything that we recognize from the movie.
We did have to purchase our tickets ahead of time online and reserve a date to visit. So if you are coming, make sure that you do plan accordingly.
Let's check it out and see what we can find.
Do you have any questions about the jellyfish?
How old are they?
These are about 3 to 4 months old.
Look at the cute baby one.
Yeah, that really tiny one is probably about a month.
We're making our way to the into the deep and open sea areas, which you have to go upstairs and across to another building. This is really cool, watching all of these sardines swimming in a circle around this little room as you enter the exhibit. Here's some of the marine life that we saw in the Open Seas exhibit. We just finished walking through the jellyfish area, and now we are in the open sea exhibit.
They have this really cool interactive screen here outside of this exhibit. So instead of just having lots of little pictures and signs for you to look at, they actually have this interactive touch screen where you can touch and it'll tell you what you're looking at up in the large tank. At the end of this exhibit, we saw the tufted puffins.
Now we are making our way into the deep exhibit. Down here there's even more jellyfish, but they're different special species of jellyfish. This is one of the coolest jellyfish I think I've ever seen.
So these are the tower jelly, and it says that without red light you can't see the color red. So up here in this exhibit you can see this red area of this jellyfish, but when you push this button it turns off the red light, and if you were to look at them in the bottom of the ocean they'd be completely transparent, maybe even a little blue.
Alright, this is really hard to see, but here is the Japanese spider crab. And Talia's gonna stand next to it. Talia, stand next to it and face me. Stand closer to it. It's really dark and hard to see, but this thing is as tall as Talia, it seems.
Very gently with just 2 fingers. comfy and hard. He has little segments so he can curl up if he wants to. So all those are
Try one more time. Very gentle.
yeah, very gentle. The water's cold too. It's 50 degrees.
I just touched water roly-poly. It's like a big roly-poly in the water because it looks very similar to it because it can still curl up. It's bigger than a normal roly-poly, but it's still really cool. It feels exactly like a real roly-poly. It felt bumpy and hard like a shell.
Next, we made our way into the tentacles exhibit, where we saw some fascinating and unique sea life, including things like these cuttlefish, an octopus, and squid. We just finished everything in this building on this side of the aquarium, and now we're gonna go find ourselves some lunch. So we're gonna see what their cafe has. The cafe restaurant at the aquarium is cafeteria style and features several different stations with foods such as chips, different sandwiches, fruit bowls. There were also soups, they had fresh seafood, there was a dessert bar with different pastries, cookies, even some candy. There was self-serve coffee. There were soda fountains and ice slushes. They also had a freezer with dessert items in it. Lastly, there was the American-style food station with burgers, pretzels, mac and cheese, and chicken tenders. So for our food, we weren't super hungry, so we picked up some stuff to share. So we got their chicken tenders with fries, we got a bowl of fruit, we got a banana milk, which tastes like a banana smoothie, and we got a tropical flavored smoothie. Everything's really good, but prices are obviously touristy prices, so definitely plan accordingly. If you don't want to eat here, there are tons of places along Cannery Row where you can eat, and they all also looked really good when we were walking by earlier. And while we are eating, we have a great view of the bay out of the window right next to our table. It is a very beautiful and sunny day, which you don't always get up here in Monterey. It's very nice to have this view and the sun and the weather that we're having.
The aquarium is split into two sections. So we finished up on this side of the aquarium where the tentacles and the Into the Deep and the jellyfish exhibits were. And now we are going to check out the other side, which is called the Ocean's Edge. And Talia wants to go to the tide pools first. So we are going to go to the touch pool area first.
There's a cool little area here where we're about to get doused by waves like we're inside of a tide pool. And in this area near the big giant tide pool waterfalls, there's a whole bunch of touch tank items for you to touch. So also over here they have an aviary. So it's kind of a mix between water life and avian life. So there's some birds back here on the back area, but also down here there's a bunch of fish in the water that you can look at.
Here they have some of the exterior versions of some of the exhibits we saw on the inside. So this is where the rainbow trout were. So this actually extends back inside to the aquarium. So this is a really neat area. So here outside the aquarium, there is this tide pool that they've blocked off. I'm not sure if it was naturally made this way or if they added a few rocks to keep it sort of closed in. We can't go down too close to the water, but to me this looks really similar to what you see in Finding Dory. That sort of area on the outside. I don't see any seals or sea lions on the rocks, but I feel like I could picture them being there. This section of the aquarium is known as the Splash Zone, which is mainly a kids exhibit, starting with the Coral Reef Kingdom. Here, kids will find some of their favorite characters that they'll recognize, Dory and Nemo. There were also several exhibits that were interactive, where kids could climb or explore as they looked into the aquariums. Here we have the African penguins, which were a lot of fun to watch. These flightless birds are actually excellent swimmers, so we got to watch them dive and swim through the aquarium. Here at the other end of the aquarium, there's another beautiful view of Monterey Bay. This view should also look familiar if you have been on Soarin' over California before. I believe this is the same rocky coast they used in part of that attraction. So this is a massive Kelp Forest exhibit. It's 2 stories tall. Hundreds of plants and animals in here. And some of these sparkling clouds, they look like bits of bubbles, but they are actually schools of sardines and anchovies. Here is a better look at all of those hundreds, maybe thousands of sardines or anchovies, just like we saw in another exhibit. But this is what they would look like in their natural habitat. The kelp and other sea life in this exhibit are swaying and moving constantly. There is an artificially created tide that you can see from the rooftop of the exhibit. This exhibit also had a really great interactive touch pool for kids and adults. It had some sea urchin. There were also some sea sponges. There were hermit crabs, which you could hold. And even some larger crabs that you could touch.
We just wrapped up our time at the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
This was a really beautiful aquarium, a really beautiful setting to be right here on the ocean. Also keep in mind that this is not the best place to bring someone who needs to be in a stroller. It is not super stroller friendly. There's a lot of stairs and it is difficult to get through some of the smaller spaces. So do keep that in mind if you're planning on coming with little ones.
Overall, I would say that this was a lot of fun, and I think we really enjoyed ourselves, and it's definitely a place you want to visit if you're in the area or able to make it to the area.
What was your favorite exhibit?
I think my favorite exhibit was the tentacles exhibit, where all the cool stuff were about octopuses and creatures similar to octopuses.
I really enjoyed the Kelp Forest. I thought it was just beautiful and really neat to see all the different levels and the different type of creatures that all live in the same area.
I don't really have a favorite part. I just kind of liked everything. I think it's so cool that they have so many different exhibits and so many different sea animals that you can see here, and I just like taking it all in.
Let us know in the comments what your favorite exhibit is or what you'd like to see if you do come visit the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps us out.
And don't forget to subscribe for even more magical content.
And we hope we put you in a magical mood.